Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We have a iPad 9th gen here that is smashed. This is one of them school iPads that basically they use in schools. It has all their books and stuff on it, and I think your man's kid dropped it a few too many times and he's scared that he'll cut his fingers, so they taped it up a bit. But now that the school year is coming around again, they feel like now is the right time to get it fixed. Let's get fixing the screen. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's remove. Ooh, it's not too pretty now, is it? Ooh. Oh wow. Will I even need to heat this up? Wow. Hello, Lowy.
I'm here.
Set temperature to 80 degrees.
It's set to 80 degrees.
Start up. I don't know why she does this, man. Okay, put that there. Hey guys, so to get this repair started, I need to apply some isopropyl alcohol just to eat away at the adhesive holding down the screen. So there's two parts of the screen actually. So there's the digitizer, which is the one that's cracked that I'm going to be replacing. And then there's the LCD that actually displays the image of the iPad. So what you can see here is I'm using a suction cup and a tin metal prying tool to cut at or in between the screen and the housing to get at that adhesive to cut in between it. And as you can see here, I'm just kind of just pulling it apart. And that strip there in between is the adhesive. So depending how cracked it is, you want to be very careful. If it's not cracked at all, you want to use loads and loads of alcohol and obviously a decent amount of heat so that it can just come apart very easily. But in this case, it's cracked, so it doesn't really matter if it cracks anymore. If you don't have a metal prying tool like what I have right now, you can use a playing card, or you can use tin plastic, which is really good to basically cut at the adhesive. I'm using a blower to blow any dust or glass off the actual LCD. This needs to be protected at all costs. That's why I'm kind of like sweeping any dust or debris off it, making sure nothing sticks to it, because once the skin gets dirty, man, the pain it is to remove is incredible. And then I'm just going to apply some tape around the screen so that I can prevent any further dust or glass getting into it. So just to protect it, yeah, you really don't want this thing to get damaged. Cleaning it is literally impossible. I don't know what type of material is used for the LCD, but you just want to protect it, unless you're going to have to get the new LCD. So as you guys can see here, the home button is actually supposed to come up with the screen, but because it's so cracked, it's kind of like cracked into different layers and left the home button behind. Thankfully, it's not damaged. You saw me just test it there. So I'm first going to unscrew the LCD. There's 4 screws around the screen and that I can just undo pretty easily, and also helps to keep them kind of together. And the top 2 screws have some type of sticker above them. It may look like it's not there, but trust me, there is. So you see me using the black stick to just move the sticker out of the way, so then I can then use the actual screwdriver itself to get at the screwdriver itself. Sorry, to get at the screws. Once the screws are removed, you just want to lift up the LCD. The connector's at the bottom, so you want to use a black stick at the top where the camera is to pry up the LCD. And then you just want to kind of shimmy it out, make sure there's nothing in the way, and it will just lift out nice and easy. Like I said, it helps to tape this up so you don't use your fingerprints all over the screen. Then you want to disconnect the battery. There's a screw holding in the battery. You want to disconnect that and put it aside. And then you want to get some type of plastic, I don't know, like plastic card underneath the battery. I don't know why I didn't show it here. But then there's like 3 screws holding in the digitizer and LCD bracket. So once those are removed, you can then remove that bracket, and then we can remove the LCD, which is the tick connector there. I'm using a ceramic tweezer, I can't say it correctly. And then I'm going to use that same tweezer to remove the LCD. You can use an ESD tweezer as well. You just don't want to electrify anything that is on this board. And then you just want to pull off the screen itself. It probably will have some adhesive on it. Make sure that home button is nice and safe. If you have a situation like mine, there was a bit of adhesive stuck to it, and if I pulled it wrong, it would have ripped it. So be careful, take your time, be patient, and it'll all come off nice and easy. So you can just toss that in the bin. And that is the plastic card thing that I was talking about that I'm going to stick back into the charger port. Or sorry, into the battery connector. And I have a bit of cleanup to do here, guys. There's loads of glass everywhere. You can use, this is another thicker prying tool. You can use, it helps use some heat as well to kind of like wear down the adhesive so that you can like kind of cut away with it. You can use a knife, but just be careful. There's connectors around. I'm also using another, it's like a metal shovel as well for thinner spots that need a bit of help or a bit of work. So just take your time, keep cutting away at it. It will come off. Keep in mind the adhesive is actually tape, so there isn't much residue. But yeah, if you use the right equipment, guys, the jobs just get so much easier. Put it that way. Yeah, this is the camera area here, so you want to take extra care. I'm using a kind of camera sticker to protect the camera, so you can get this from China. But let me know if you guys want to know where I get them, and that stops from dust from getting into the camera as well. So it's really handy for any device, really. If you've opened it, you don't want dust or debris to get into the camera and damage it. So it really helps to put a sticker above it. So I also was wearing a safety glasses because glass flies all over the place. So you really don't want glass getting your eyes. It's happened to me so many times, guys. Trust me, it's not worth getting glass in your eyes. It's just man, I can't even tell you how much that hurts, man. Getting glass at your eyes. But anyways, time for the home button. Obviously, if your screen is intact, you'll have to take the home button out as soon as you're removing the digitizer. But it's literally just a flap that you undo the flap and then you can pull out. There was the home button flex piece of glass around the home button itself that I needed to remove. It was pretty easy. Just be careful, guys. The home button is registered with the Touch ID, so you want to keep the old one if it's not damaged already. And then you want to do some cleanup. So I use some isopropyl alcohol on a brush, and I kind of just worked my way around the sides of the iPad to remove the old adhesive. Part this with using a metal shovel, not an actual metal shovel now, but you'll see what I'm using on in a few minutes, every few seconds. Sorry. You can just kind of like, I guess, brush around the adhesive. This kind of helps the adhesive to loosen up so that you can use your metal, I guess, prying tools to kind of like take it off. Really, like it's nothing too crazy. Like, but I do this just to ensure quality, so that the new adhesive sticks nice and even and flat onto the new screen. So it's a really important step that most repair shops don't care about. I don't really understand. They'll just slap on like some glue over it. It's not recommended. But the screen I used here was a repart screen. Really good quality. Probably the best quality I've seen so far. It comes with the adhesive already on. It's good adhesive. You can even smell the adhesive. So it really does help to use really good quality parts. This didn't even cost that much, but it's good to have good parts. You can also get this with a home button as well. If your home button was, say smashed or the cable had ripped, you get a new home button, but the Touch ID won't work. So in this case, the home button was already there. Now you do have to just stick on the home button onto the new screen. I don't know why I haven't showed it here, but you literally just sticking it on, that's all. And then you want to line up those connectors, and then you want to push them in. So make sure you can hear it click into place. Once you hear that feedback of it's clicked into place, that's how you know you've clicked it in correctly. It might take you a bit. Don't force it in. You just want to line it up and then push it in ever so slightly, and you should hear it click into place. It does also help to use like an object behind the screen so you can rest it. Just to put back in the home button flex cable, there's a little latch that goes in, and then the home button slides back in. and it's helpful to use a pair of tweezers to get that in, and then push everything down nicely. Up next will be the LCD. You just want to do the exact same thing by lining it up and finding where the connector kind of lines up, and then you want to push that into place as well. It will, like I said, be a bit finicky, but once it's in, and you should be good to go. You can pull out that plastic carton. Make sure you don't use metal into the battery connector. Probably should have said that at the start. If you use metal, you will fry the board. But I'm just testing it, so I haven't actually installed anything back. But the good thing is the Digitizer works in all areas. Like I said, the screen is really, really good quality, so you shouldn't have any issues there if you go with the repart option. Alright, so that display bracket will need to go back on, and then there is 3 screws to be screwed back in. One tip when screwing screws is you can twist it to the left and then to the right. First, once you twist it left, you hear a click. That's how you know the screw is ready to go back into place. This will stop you from threading the screws. One last screw for the battery connector. Make sure you don't lose this so that the battery just doesn't randomly disconnect. And then you just want to screw that back in, and once it's done, you can then put back the LCD. So up next is the 4 screws that we originally moved. That's cool. That needs to hold down the LCD. Very, very important so the LCD doesn't bounce around the screen and damage itself in the future. And then we want to remove those adhesive strips that were holding, or that are used to hold down the screen itself to the housing. This adhesive itself is really like, I don't know what the word is called, but like it smelled really potent. I don't know. And it stuck really, really well, like instantly. So, I need to figure out what they were using. But anyways, you then want to remove the sellotape. As you see, the one that you originally put on, you want to remove that sellotape. So you want to blow out any more dust, and then there is one more strip to be removed, and that is for the new digitizer. And then we want to line everything up. Don't drop it like I did. And then just line it up, and then you just want to make sure everything is well in place and stuck down, and press it on every corner. And once it's all pressed down, you can test it again. And as you can tell, everything is working perfect. When I test both cameras as well, mine was working perfect. I was really, really happy with how this repair turned out. The adhesive strips really just make it easier than using glue. So if there's anyone that would be looking to learn how to be a technician, how to fix devices from beginner to pro, I'll be releasing a course soon, so let me know down in the comments below.